All right, we've returned from Orlando safely after a fun week out there. We were there from Wednesday all the way to Monday, did a show on the road, and now we're back in the studio for another edition of Game Time with John Eads. Yes, we return, all good, got all of our extremities in good health, but we come back with a big fat L. LSU begins the season 0-1. We're here to break it down. I'm happy to be breaking down a football game. I was kind of getting sick of the previewing and looking ahead. We did that for about a month. Now we've actually got football to talk about. I really enjoyed week one of college football. I sat down in my hotel room because LSU played on Sunday, and I think I did not get out of my chair except to get lunch from noon to 8 o'clock, and I had 4 screens going. That's an elite college football setup. If you guys aren't on that level, you got some things to change for this weekend, but it's so good to have college football back. And it was great to be at the game on Sunday there, although that second half was very tough to watch. As we get going here, like, subscribe. Football season just starting. LSU football, Saints, Southern, they all kicked off their seasons, although the Saints begin their season this week. So we're just ramping up the content here in Game Time with John Eads. So like, subscribe, follow me on the socials at John Eads TV on X and Instagram. I posted a cool video, all the sights and sounds, 2 minutes of footage that I gathered during the game that I'm allowed to show you. I can't show any highlights, can't show any game footage, but pregame stuff, mascots, fan reactions, the atmosphere itself. Check it out on X. 2-minute long video. It's also on YouTube. Thought it was really cool. Maybe you'll enjoy that as well. A lot to talk about. 45-24 loss for the Tigers against the Seminoles. Some good, mostly bad. We're focusing the entire show on LSU today because we've got a lot to talk about. And how we're going to do this, we're going to work our way in, almost like a funnel. You got a big bag of sugar. You're pouring it into a can. You're going to dump it in. It's going to funnel its way down and obviously then trickle into whatever bin you're putting in it. So we're going to work our way from the outside in with this football game. That's how we like to attack things here on Game Time. So without any further ado, let's dive right in and start on kind of a positive note. So LSU loses 45-24, a game that the Seminoles really just bullied the Tigers, especially in the second half, and we're going to get into that. What I want to talk about first, though, is just the game itself and the atmosphere, because it was awesome and it deserves talking about. The game, of course, in Camping World Stadium in Orlando, sold-out crowd, not an open seat in the house until the fourth quarter when Florida State took control of the game and just really drove away. 0-60 in 4 seconds there. Basically, this was a Florida State home game. I think I heard that 70% of the tickets were sold to Florida State fans. It really felt like it was 90% Florida State fans and only 10% LSU. And that's not to say that LSU didn't travel. I mean, there were plenty of Tigers fans there. We saw quite a few. We met some of you before the game at various tailgating events and events leading up to the game. So it was nice to meet some of you. But this was a Florida State home game. And if you were there and you just heard the tomahawk chops, the Florida State fight song playing, all the loud roars whenever the Seminoles made a play, you knew that. And to be expected, game was in Orlando, not too far from Tallahassee. It's back in the home state of Florida State, but that really made it tough. Like, I've got clips of Jaden Daniels trying to call audibles, change protections, change routes, and he's getting frustrated because he's trying to yell to his receivers, like some of these kind of things, whatever those mean, I don't really know, and they just could not hear him. So whatever he was trying to tell his receivers wasn't getting through. And on some of the big plays in the game, like that play itself, that was on a goal-to-go situation. It may have been that fourth down play when he got sacked. The message he was trying to deliver to his receivers on the near side of the field, they didn't get it. He was just like, all right, whatever, let's just run the play. And it didn't work, obviously. FSU stuffed LSU. We're going to talk about that play and all those missed opportunities later on in the show. So that really made it difficult to actually play the football game. And I really think it had an impact on how this game played out. That's why it's so hard to play in road environments. I hope some of you guys get the opportunity to experience a game either from the first row or the sideline, because you hear everything. And at the same time, you hear nothing. All you hear is the crowd noise. So imagine trying to bark out an audible, who's the Mike linebacker? Change the protection as a quarterback. That's so hard. So hard to do. And the Florida State fans were unbelievable. Especially in that fourth quarter. I'm on LSU's end zone behind there, looking up to the very top of the stadium, nosebleed section. Everybody up there, just in unison, chopping, like a mile away probably, and all the way up. It's just FSU fans all the way across first row to 300th row. They're locked in, they're engaged. So this game meant a lot to them, and they really enjoyed that win. You could just tell. But even just walking to the game, picking up credentials, like people are there 3-4 hours ahead of time, tailgating, playing cornhole, drinking some adult beverages, just hanging out all over the stadium. So I think the event staff did a great job. People came out, and people really were looking forward to this game to the point where, LSU specialists, before the game even starts, walking out of the tunnel to just kick pregame, and they're getting booed, they're getting harassed by Florida State fans outside the tunnel. And then Jaden Daniels, Malik Neighbors, they lead their respective groups out of the tunnel, and FSU fans or LSU fans are cheering, hollering, the band's playing. That was another thing. The band was right behind where I was standing for most of this game. They were loud, and it was really just cool to hear them play the entire game. One of the best parts of college football are traditions like that. The fight songs, the band, the pregame show, the halftime show, and really just getting the fans engaged with the sounds of the trumpets and the drums. Just awesome. Then the mascots, too. Mike the Tiger was there. Got up close with him. He literally came up to my camera. I'll show you the clip. Was like touching my camera, trying to get me to dap him up, which I did afterwards. So that was pretty cool to meet up with Mike there. He was kind of hitting the gritty a little bit, too, towards the end of the game after a late LSU touchdown. So we got that clip as well. We'll show you. So wanted to start on a more positive note. The game atmosphere itself, I'm sure the fans had a great time, at least in the first half, when this had game of the season type vibes. It was loud, and it was everything that college football should be about. None of this conference realignment crap. Teams on the West Coast joining an Atlantic Coast conference. Now, this was college football in its purest form without all that outside trash that just takes away from the game. So it was so good to just see games being played, be on the field, and I'm looking forward to more experiences like that I can share with you guys this season. Again, check out that video I did, Sights and Sounds. I don't say a word. It's all pictures and video of the environment of the game itself, and it'll give you chills. So please check it out. But let's get into the actual game, and we'll talk about that coming up here. All right, so now we got to get to the negative stuff, and really the entire second half of this football game was negative. Football's a 4-quarter game. You guys know that. LSU knows that. Brian Kelly knows that. But it didn't look like they knew that, because I don't know what happened in that locker room. Coach Kelly said that the team, I guess, thought they were Georgia, the 2-time defending national champions. I guess so, because they came out with a 3-point lead in the second half and just disappeared. I'm talking about a 31-0 run for Florida State. That is something you do not see unless you're playing a cupcake team and you come out and score the first 31 points of the game. To get outscored 31-0 in one half of football is embarrassing. Florida State scored on every single one of their drives in the second half, man. It was just, oh, man. Like, you think about a boxing match, that's like putting up a good fight in the first 4 rounds, and then you just get bruised and battered in 5, 6, and 7, and you just get taken out with a knockout punch. The knockout punch was Jaheim Bell, tight end, wide receiver, tandem type guy for Florida State. He scored the last 2 touchdowns for this team. Long passing play, and then the last touchdown Florida State scored, really just an encapsulation of the game. I wish I could show you the clip. We're not allowed to due to SEC footage violations or whatever. Zy Alexander just got blown up as Bell walked his way into the end zone. Like, get out of my way, dude. I'm getting to the end zone. I'm scoring. He did that. Alexander went flying. That right there, if you didn't watch this game, which I know you guys did, but if you didn't watch the game, I'll show you that 6-second clip and say, you don't need to spend 3-4 hours of your time. This is how the game went. So, really rough way to end it there, because in the first half, LSU played well, but again, I just don't know what happened in the second half. Florida State came out down 17-14, field goal, touchdown, 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 touchdown. LSU, nothing. Quiet. So, getting a little bit more into the specifics, they got bullied just in different aspects of the game, and individuals got bullied too. How about Keon Coleman, the Opelousas native? There were times where that ball was up for grabs. It was 50-50. Almost like in a baseball game when somebody hits a home run, nobody's sitting in the particular seat, the ball lands, the ball's on the ground. It's you or the other dude or woman fighting for that baseball to take home as a souvenir. And Coleman got that souvenir more often than not. And in big moments, too. Jump balls, Keon Coleman got the football. He made it his mission to get the football, and he did that. He burned Major Burns one-on-one, Deuce Chestnut one-on-one. I saw a clip on X before the play where Keon Coleman caught I think it was his 40-yard or 41-yard touchdown catch. He had 3 touchdowns, man. It's hard to keep track. It was like, hey, Jordan, right here. I got a safety on me. Major Burns here. I can burn this dude. Get me the football. No pun intended, by the way. And what happened? Fade route, one-on-one. Burns, pretty good coverage. But Coleman comes down with the football because he wanted it more. He's a big body. Don't get me wrong. He's like 6'4", 200. Has the height advantage on Burns. Had the height advantage on pretty much everybody on LSU secondary. And he came down with the football. Again, Burns in right place, good positioning, did everything well, just did not get his hand on the football. And Coleman scores. And that happened against Deuce Chestnut, too. Chestnut's like 5'11", 200. This is what he struggled with at Syracuse when he played there. He just too small. Doesn't have long enough arms to bat the ball down or the strength to get receivers off of him. So that was rough. And, this is all stuff I prepared you guys for. This is why you watch Game Time, because I'm telling you what's going to happen in the game. This is what happened. I told you FSU wants to attack LSU secondary. They did it last year, had 2 long one-on-one touchdown throws. Same thing happened this year, except it was, I guess you could argue, 3. So Keon Coleman was just a thorn in the side of LSU all game. And then in the trenches, Florida State just dominated. 9 of 14 on third downs. Some of those were passing situations, in which case, yeah, the pass protection held up. And another situation, it was, hey, we need 2 or 3 yards. We're going to run the football right down your throat and get that first down. And they did that. No sacks for LSU in this game. 4 TFLs, so good at times against the run. 0 sacks. And what did I tell you a couple episodes ago? LSU lost every single football game last year when they had 0 sacks. What happened in this game? Already told you, 0 sacks. And what happened? Then the offensive line was subpar. They allowed 4 sacks, 5 TFLs, short yardage situations, couldn't pick them up. Pass protection was shaky all day. Daniels was kind of insecure in the pocket. And that was a little unexpected because he had 5 starters coming back, and Florida State's defensive line is great. Don't get me wrong, experienced Jared Verse is going to be a first-round pick this upcoming draft. But you should be able to handle that matchup. They handled it last year in the SEC with pretty much the same starting 5. So just a clear advantage there in the trenches. And then the last point I have is that the linebackers were nowhere to be found for LSU. Specifically, I know a lot of you have been talking about this on social media. Harold Perkins was like this. Ghost. He wasn't even in the game. I don't know what the game plan was with this dude. 7 pass rush snaps. 7. For a guy that had 4 sacks in 1 football game last year. What are we doing? I understand he was a situational defender last year and he's transitioning into a middle linebacker role this year, but he is the fastest defender you have, the most disruptive defender you have. What are you doing dropping him in coverage, bro? He had 28 coverage snaps, according to Pro Football Focus. Single game high. 23 run defense snaps, and he was good against the run. The same stuff he uses to get sacks, he uses to stop the run. Quickness, elusiveness, strength. They didn't use him the correct way. And on the downs where he did spy the quarterback, this is on Harold Perkins himself. He's going up to the line, engaging with the offensive lineman, and just getting tossed because he's a 200-somewhat pound linebacker against a 350-pound offensive lineman. And he just got thrown. So, you get out coached, you don't scheme the right way, and then Perkins himself just did not execute, in my opinion. So all of those things together, working at the same time, led to this embarrassing second half. A second half in which Florida State just bullied the Tigers. It was JV against varsity in the trenches, in the secondary, and then with specific things, you literally just got out-schemed. So that was tough to watch. First half, thought, this is going to be the game of the year. 17-14, back and forth, big plays, really, setting the tempo and telling the tale of the game. And then the second half happened. Not good, obviously. 31-0 Florida State outscores LSU in that half. And that was the difference in the game. So we got a few more negatives to talk about, and we're going to go even deeper into something I just spoke about, and that's LSU getting exposed. LSU secondary, they got taken out to lunch. This was one of the biggest question marks of the offseason. Who's cornerback 1? Who's cornerback 2? Whew. It was a clear mismatch. Keon Coleman, Johnny Wilson, they ate. Corners could not keep up. It was like the freshman corner getting pulled up to varsity in high school when you're in the playoffs and you need a scout team corner. That's what it looked like. And it wasn't really anything schematic. There weren't many blown coverages. There weren't many plays where somebody was just uncovered. Keon Coleman, Johnny Wilson, they just wanted the ball more. Wilson didn't really have any jump ball plays, but there were plays where Travis was scrambling around, playing little backyard football. Wilson just kept on fighting to get open, find some open real estate, and catch a pass. Coleman, you could argue, wasn't really open on many plays. But he found a way to make a play or get himself open. So let's break down his touchdown catches for Keon Coleman. 9 receptions, 122 yards, 3 touchdowns. Hat trick for my boy. His first tutty, 41 yards, quick slant. That's all it was. It was bang, 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 ball's right there. Zy Alexander, the corner, was in off coverage, missed the tackle. Safety comes up, missed tackle, and Coleman's got nothing but green grass in front of him. That cannot be that easy to do. A quick slant for maybe 8-10 yards going 41 for a touchdown because of 2 missed tackles. Can't happen. He just wanted to get to the end zone more than you wanted to tackle him. Talked about this on a previous segment. Keon Coleman one-on-one with Major Burns. He wanted the ball. He alerted Jordan Travis, hey, dude, I'm going to be open. I'm telling you, give me a chance. I'm coming down with the football. And he did come down with the football. Burns was in good position. Off coverage, had a good cushion, was right there, got his hand in there, was clawing for the football. Just didn't get it out. Coleman came down with it. That's his second touchdown. How about his third touchdown? May as well have had a cone out there covering him. Chestnut was in pretty good position. Played the route pretty well. I saw him pregame getting some good, footwork drills in, kind of preparing what he was going to see. Didn't help, though. Why? Because he's 5'11", and Keon Coleman's 6'4", and he's probably got a wingspan that goes beyond that because he had 2 yards of separation on Chestnut, and, it was as if he was on stilts, and I was just standing on the bare ground. And it's just unfair. It's when I play basketball in my driveway with my little brother who probably is this tall, and he thinks he can guard me in the post. That's what it was, essentially. And, this isn't stuff that only Florida State can do. Believe it or not, there's other 6'2", 6'3" wide receivers out there, and coincidentally, most of them play in the SEC. So if I'm any other coach that's playing LSU this year, you don't even really need to watch the film. You could just go on Twitter or X, and you'll see all these plays. Throw the ball up and let your tall, lanky receivers just make plays. Play some basketball out there, especially in the red zone, because clearly LSU can't keep up in the secondary. They're just not big enough. They're not strong enough. You can do whatever you want from a schematic standpoint. You can play cover 4. You're still not coming down with that football, and you're giving up touchdowns. Another thing on Coleman, before I get into some other stuff real quick, how did LSU not recruit this kid? I said he's from Opelousas, Louisiana. That's about an hour from here. I've become really good at saying that city name, by the way, because of Keon Coleman. I saw a graphic that he posted in high school with all of his offers, probably 30, 40 schools on there. No LSU. 3-star, not the highest rated prospect, but I've done a lot of stories on in-state recruiting the past couple weeks. You talk to any Louisiana football insider, they will take a 3-star prospect over any 4 or 5-star kid out of state. They didn't recruit Keon Coleman. He went to Michigan State, balled out there against my Michigan Wolverines. Now he's balling out against the LSU Tigers. Not playing for LSU, against LSU. And he may be the sole reason that the Seminoles won this game, in my opinion. So the corners were bad. The secondary was bad. Major Burns, who's supposed to be a third team, really just an all-SEC safety, looked nothing like an all-SEC safety. He had 8 tackles. I don't care. I mean, a lot of those tackles were after Florida State had already broken on a big run or passed and completed a pass. It wasn't like he was, stuffing runs and stuff like that. He had no TFLs, didn't make any plays on the ball, like I said, so that was disappointing. And then I talked about, there weren't many blown coverages, but there were at the end of the game. Jaheim Bell's first touchdown, the one that put Florida State up 38-17, was a play-action fake. Travis rolled out left. Again, I'd love to show this play, but I can't. And nobody picked up Bell. He just was wide open in the flat, kind of 10 yards downfield, wasn't touched. Walked into the end zone. So you not only had guys not making plays on the ball, but you had blown coverages. And then to really just put a bow on all this, I told you guys a big key to this game for LSU winning, get pressure on Jordan Travis. Make him uncomfortable. They did not do that. I already talked about it. 0 sacks. Didn't win a game last year when that happened. Obviously didn't win this game when that happened. And because they got no pressure, the secondary picked up 2 pass interference penalties that moved the sticks for Florida State. The only 2 penalties LSU had, both pass interference penalties. And it wasn't like it was a one-on-one jump ball and somebody pushed. No, it was no pressure. Travis running this way, running that way, going down here. All the time in the world to make a play, and the receivers have 12 seconds to get open. So, yeah, your corners are going to hold at some point. So, all of that together gives you this gumbo of bad defense, blowout loss, and a 31-0 second half. So, Florida State exposed LSU, and I don't know if some of these things are fixable, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. Don't care what happens in the Grambling State game. Means nothing to me. Not gonna make me feel any better about the secondary. We'll see come SEC time. But right now, LSU's secondary is a big problem. Okay, let's take a deep breath. Talked a lot of negatives. I hate being a negative guy. People that know me know I'm not really a negative guy. I'm optimistic, glass half full, find the silver lining. So we're going to do that, all right? Do not panic if you're an LSU fan, all right? I know it's tough to walk around town right now with your purple on like I'm doing right now, but it was week 1, all right? There's 12 weeks in the regular season for a reason. Yes, it's the 4th consecutive season opening loss for LSU, and it wasn't close, but I'm telling you, don't panic. Don't draw conclusions. All right, there's a long, long way to go. I will say I'm no longer confident in my prediction that LSU will go 11-1. I predicted they lose this game to Florida State because Florida State is making the playoff. I think it could be the best team LSU plays all year. That's how good they are. No weaknesses on that team. And if you watched on television, you saw that. So I know it's, maybe you think down on Florida State still because the past few years they haven't been very good. They're good this year. Trust me. Trust me. I got a good feel for this team. They will make the playoff. You saw Clemson lose to Duke yesterday. Nobody's touching this team in the ACC. They're not losing a whole game all year. I'm telling y'all right now, stamp it. There you go. I think what also is important to note is that styles win fights. And I knew that the style of football that Florida State plays would give LSU trouble, considering the secondary, considering new linebackers, considering Mason Smith not playing that defensive line, using some guys that haven't played a whole lot. It's just a tough offense to stop, man. They're all over the place. Travis is here. He's here. He's hiding the ball. He's faking. They're running double passes. They're running counters. They're like they can do everything. They use every inch of the football field to run a play, I tell you. And that's just tough to stop. That's a big reason why they're going to go undefeated this year, because Mike Norvell's offensive system, it's like stuff that you'd see in Madden if you make like custom-made a playbook. Like, it's just unreal stuff. It's so fun to watch, too. I mean, I'm behind the play. Travis has the football. It's like hide and seek with you don't know where the ball's going. It's just, man, It's beautiful, honestly, as a football fan. And what was also interesting about this game is that it was almost like chess or Stratego, if you know what Stratego is, because there's so many weapons on this Florida State team, and it felt like they saved some stuff in their back pocket for when they really just wanted to roll it out. So, Jaheim Bell, he scored the last 2 touchdowns for Florida State. I thought he would play a lot more in the first half. Didn't see it much. He didn't make much of an impact. Then he comes out in the second half, and catches a long touchdown, and then scores the last touchdown of the game on an end around and blows up Zy Alexander. And then you had Trey Benson, too, in the fourth quarter. Was kind of like your closer in a baseball game. He came out. He's picking up 10-yard runs left and right. He's slicing. He's dicing. He's moving all inside and outside of the LSU defensive line. It just felt like they had so many people to roll into the game, take out of the game. And it's just... This is why I was so confident in Florida State winning this first game. I mean, that right there. I didn't think it'd be a blowout like this, but sheesh. And then 2 more points I had. Florida State made the winning plays. Like, a couple of these situations, if they go the other way, maybe LSU wins. So I got 3 specific plays in my head where Florida State simply executed. And these were plays that won them the game, that just had them gain the momentum early in the second half and keep it. So there was a 4th and 1. Jordan Travis picks it up with his legs. LSU on 4th down? Not so good, and we'll talk about that in a second. After that scramble, they immediately throw a jump ball, touchdown. What if they don't get that first down? LSU football, touchdown off the board. But no, Travis, second effort, backed his way into a first down and then threw a touchdown pass. And then 4th down and 2. This may have been, this was a different drive. Near midfield, LSU sends the house. 7 guys on a blitz. All Florida State does is leak the running back out of the backfield. Travis goes, doot, 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 wide open. Boop. He could have underhanded it to him. Nobody covered the running back, Toa Philly, ran down the sideline, and it took Harold Perkins chasing him down at the 1 to prevent a touchdown there. That's a winning play. 4th and 2, game in the balance. You could punt it. You could kick a field goal. No, Norvell goes for it and calls an easy play, but a great play, because you know LSU's going to bring that blitz. They saw that. They recognized that. So with Philly faking like he's blocking, nobody at him. Wide open. Just cruising right down the sideline. That's an example of being outcoached in my eyes. Yeah, it's 4th and 2. You want to blitz. You're expecting the run. But you can't leave somebody just completely uncovered like that. You've been gambling the whole game. They sent blitzes a lot. And Florida State saw the blitzes coming and scored on you anyway. So why in the 4th quarter are you still sending the house when you know Florida State's going to have an answer for that? Just saying. They got outcoached, and Coach Kelly said as much. That's an example right there of being outcoached. And then you had a double pass play. Travis threw it backwards. Deuce Spann caught it near the sideline. They were looking to hit a receiver vertical. Wasn't there. So he runs around, almost like a roundabout, to the other sideline and hits Johnny Wilson for a first down. Like, LSU had 2 guys right up in his grill before he threw the pass. 9 times out of 10, that's a disaster. But it turned into a dime and a first down for FSU. So those are 3 plays right there. You watch the replay. Say they stop that double pass. Say Travis doesn't get that first down. Say they get the stop on 4th and 2. That's 14 points. Heck, maybe 21 points off the board. And you got a different football game. And then on the other side, LSU didn't execute. They didn't make these winning plays. They got stuffed on 4th down twice. Once at the goal line when they went 4 wide. You can't get 1 yard? Are you serious? It took them 8 tries to get that 1 yard. They didn't get it. And then there was a 4th and 1 play in the 2nd or 3rd quarter where it was a fake handoff. They slipped Taylor into the flat, wide open. And Daniels decides to tuck it, try to run up the middle, stopped. So you get no points on either of those situations, either of those drives. Say you get 2 touchdowns, 14 points right there. Heck, 10 points. Touchdown field goal. You set up for the field goal there, 10 points. They didn't make either of those conversions. They also had a free interception at the 10-yard line. Sage Ryan tipped it. Harold Perkins was right there to catch it, probably run it in for a touchdown too. Instead, it drops harmlessly incomplete. And that's just kind of, it's a bounce a ball thing. It's just unfortunate. But that right there, that would have been 7 points. Changed the momentum of the game there in the third quarter. And we're talking about perhaps a different ball game. Instead, it was a punt. I don't think LSU scored on that drive. I have other things I want to say, but you kind of get the point here. Florida State out-coached, out-schemed LSU, and they made winning plays. They installed new plays LSU had never seen, ran them to oblivion, and they picked up first downs. So just Florida State won the game. It was 45-24, and there were so many different directions the game could have gone. It's a close game. It's a blowout for FSU. It's a blowout for LSU. And they just did not do the things they needed to do to make the game play out that way. So I could talk for 40 minutes about why Florida State won this football game. They just dominated in so many different facets, and it's as simple as that. So, tough way to start the season for LSU there. All right, that really flew by quick. That wraps up the episode. I'm going to talk more about this game because there's so many topics and individual things I got to get into that I didn't have the chance to. So, check back with us on Thursday for another edition of Game Time with John Eads. Again, be sure to like, subscribe, follow me on the socials, John Eads TV on the X app and Instagram. We're just getting started. This is the kind of energy, preview, and recap stuff you're going to get from us when you watch Game Time with John Eads. You're going to know what is going to happen on the day the game happens on Saturday, and we're going to tell you everything that happened, good, bad, or ugly, after that, because we tell it to you guys straight. So thanks for watching. Check back with us on Thursday. Again, like, share, subscribe, and be tuned in all season long.